Today we have power cleans, we got some plyometrics, a little less intensity of a plyometric. It's kind of essentially just a leg day. But before I do the power cleans, I got to get my forearm warmed up because I've been developing some tennis elbow and does not feel good on the elbow doing cleans. So if it doesn't feel good enough, I'll probably just switch to snatch, power snatches. What I'm doing to warm this up is just closing. So I was able to figure out which finger that is causing, like the muscles attached to the finger that's causing the pain in the elbow. And it's this guy, my ring finger. I can press down on this without it, no pain. As soon as I add that finger in, there's some pain. So probably means I need to do some soft tissue work, do some isos, that's what I'm doing right now, grip iso, and probably do some stretching of it as well. I don't think I've ever had golfer's elbow before. If I have, it was like very minor and I don't remember it, but so this is kind of a new experience for me. La la la. Oh. An underrated part of athleticism is rhythm. So, and this applies to weightlifting, it applies to plyometrics, sprinting, jumping. These are all rhythmic movements. And the more efficient you become at using rhythm to your advantage, the higher, the more athletic you'll become. I saw this video of this kid who had this like athletic transformation. It was just evident, you know, poor white boy had zero rhythm. Very awkward. But it was interesting how through his progression, he did gain more rhythm, even though even at his peak, he still wasn't the most rhythmic, fluid athlete. But I think about that a lot. So like even something like this, I really want to maybe overemphasizing the power I put into the box. I want to think about the fluidity and the rhythm of the movement. I got one more set. Kind of extending on what I was just saying about rhythm. You think about how like a good song helps you lift better, and it always helps if you hit it, that exercise, in that spot of the song. Well, what does music do? It adds rhythm to your life, to your body, to your movement. And so it makes sense that you would be stronger, that music is a powerful ergogenic aid because of the rhythm. So just kind of reflecting on how I program for myself is I think I have a tendency to over-program very intense things because I love them, I love doing them. But in doing that, obviously that's not the best way to program all the time. So that is one of the reasons why I love the seated box jump variation. Is it reduces the intensity, in my opinion. It feels less taxing. And so for like after my session on Monday, which is sprinting, high force production, very high impact, having a variation like this is very helpful to have on the body. Ooh, I've not done a lot of jumping in here, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Almost don't have enough distance. Yeah, I don't have enough distance. Crap. So I was thinking about this the other day. The problem with dissociation, and so with my training, I got a master's in clinical mental health counseling. So in the realm of psychology, and we talk about dissociation. It's like a stress response, right? But I don't think dissociation is inherently bad, especially after highly traumatic events. But I think what happens is we have all these micro ways of disassociating that are bad. Because essentially what dissociation does, especially in those micro, so like say you're having a rough day, you had a bad day at work, came home, you fought with your spouse or your significant other or whatever, a bad day at the gym, and then you come home and you just sit down and you veg for 3 or 4 hours before going to bed, Netflix or your phone or video games or whatever. But what that effectively does is it freezes your process of re-regulating. Dissociation is running from the problem, and so instead of re-regulating, it's like you freeze it, you cryo freeze it, you stick it over here, and then you just are like a zombie for 3 or 4 hours. You go to bed and you wake up, and that thing is still cryo freezing. It's gonna melt eventually and come back to life. I was just thinking about this the other day. And I have more thoughts on it, but I gotta do a jump. That was a terrible jump. Terrible jump. Not even. Dadgum. What is that? That was about almost a foot shorter than the last one. Okay. I'm kind of paranoid. I don't think I should be. I'm kind of paranoid of hitting my head. I should definitely not be. There's no way I'm getting that high while jumping horizontally. Okay, well, 4-inch improvement. Not great. Oh, that's what's different. I'm measuring from a different spot. I was measuring from the box, but then I pushed the box back, and now I'm measuring from my toes. That explains so much. Okay, so that was 9 from the tip of my toe to my heel. Okay, a hack that I've found, if you have really tight muscles, this kind of implies to anywhere that I'm aware of, but is creating tension and then applying pressure to it. So I'm going to create tension through this, get the muscle activated. I'm going to find that tender spot, then I'm going to release, and that's when I dig in, and then I take it through, I move it through some motion. Ooh, and then I squeeze again, and then release, and then put more pressure in. Whoa! But that wakes it up. Okay, let's do another jump. Try to surpass 9. Okay. That was good. 9-2, baby. Woo! Okay, so this is the other thing with dissociation, all right? Is, if you do that enough times, people wonder why they're in this state of constant anxiety. It's like, brother, you had problems from this day, you cryo-freezed them, stuck them off to the side, disassociated for a long time, and now you came into the next day, they're not fully back alive again. You created new ones, cryo-freezed, and you're just like continually stockpiling these things that make you want to disassociate. And the funny thing is these are like minor things initially, and then they become big things, big problems. So, obviously, what is the answer? Well, frankly, I've kind of made a rule to myself. I like nicotine. I like video games. I like food. But I try to become consciously aware of when I'm using those things to disassociate or run from whatever it is that's bothering me until that thing is resolved. So that might mean sleeping, going to bed, feeling uncomfortable. But I try to, obviously I'm a Christian, so I pray. I talk to my wife, talk to my brother. I do breath work. I sauna, I exercise, I do the things I need to do. I practice forgiveness. That's something a lot of people don't do. Like, hey, you gotta learn to let things go. And I think that is kind of what leads to living somewhat of an anxiety-free is not a real thing, but a lesser of an anxiety-filled life. Okay, let's go, baby! Come on! Woo! Mother! It was the same as the last one. Time to move on. Power cleans.
Little Beef is talking to Big Beef, and Little Beef is sitting on the chair, and he talks to a dinosaur who lives in California, and and a bigger one was a big humongous left. So I only try doing like a big gorilla does. So I only try doing the big idea was it was from I don't like going to hockey games, but I tried doing it twice, but I can do it. Yeah. It was staying. So Little Beef is trying to sit on the coach's tape.
Alright. Let's go, Dad.
Let's go, Shark! Stinky fish. So Little Beef is talking to other Big Beef. So he does bigger lifts. So he does not. Come on, brother! So Little Beef is talking to other Little Beef, and Big Beef is going to left. And there he goes.
There we go. 5. Take it.
That's.
Okay, so I have one more set.
Okay.
Call the video there. Thanks for watching. Engage with your problems. That's how you resolve them. That's how you find autonomy, freedom.